Thank you all for being here today. I'm sorry I missed your testimony, so if you've addressed the questions that I'm going to ask, please forgive me. I know we're here to have a conversation about building the Navy's nuclear fleet, but we also need to maintain those ships once they're built. And that maintenance and sustainment mission is one that I'm very focused on because the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard is within half in New Hampshire and half in Maine, so we claim it. So, Mr. Sermon, how is the Navy prioritizing those SIOP investments to ensure that we have the public shipyards that are going to be necessary to maintain the fleet?
Thank you for the question, ma'am. My organization actually works closely with the SIOP office on the intersection between those fundamental infrastructure investments in things like dry docks and buildings at our public shipyards and how my organization is pressing to use additional advanced manufacturing. And so how do we put together the new facilities, the additional people needed with advanced manufacturing? So we're working very closely with them on that and, understand there's particularly at Portsmouth, as I happen to know, a very mature SIOP program ongoing and tracking with them as the new dry docks come in, as the new buildings come in. How do we best leverage technology and the workforce efforts that we're doing across New England, frankly, from Electric Boat to BIW and with Portsmouth? How do we put all those things in battery together? Organizations really focused around putting all the things, the workforce, the manufacturing technology, and the infrastructure with these partners together for better results.
Well, thank you. And as I'm sure you know, since you sound like you've been up to Portsmouth, the work that's going on there is going to make them much more efficient in terms of the job that they're doing, which will integrate better with the shipbuilding that's happening at BIW and Electric Boat.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to follow up on Senator Hirono's question about workforce, and I appreciated the comments that folks made about the effort to hire, recruit, and retain skilled workers. It's been an ongoing challenge at the shipyard, I know, as people have retired, because one of the challenges is just our unemployment rate is so low, there are a lot of options for people. And the uncertainty right now around what's happening in the Department of Defense has created a lot of anxiety and concern that it's going to make the situation worse. So I know that the Department of Defense has indicated that our public shipyards should be exempt from policies like the deferred resignation program, the mass firings, but my understanding is also that the actual policy guidance has been very slow to arrive. So what can you say that will reassure folks that that policy guidance is actually going to come and they don't need to worry about their current jobs and look for something else, because we do value the job that they're performing? I guess that's for you, Mr. Sermon.
Thank you, ma'am. What I can say is that I'm confident in the demand signal for submarines. I am confident in the demand signal for repairing submarines, and quite frankly, because you talked about BIW and that work too. As my organization reaches to support across shipbuilding and ship repair, very confident in our need for surface ships and that continued work ongoing. And honestly, that's what I would say is I'm confident in that demand signal for the Navy.
Well, I agree with that, but I guess it doesn't address the policy guidance question and the slowness with which the Secretary's office, I guess, has come down to reassure people that they're not going to be fired. I don't know if somebody else would like to address that.
Ma'am, I would just offer at the general, I think all of us would agree that we need a strong professional workforce in shipbuilding and ship sustainment, including at Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, and all of our naval shipyards. And I think you mentioned the exemptions that have been announced for the public shipyard workers. I think all of us also earnestly have to agree, though, that we need to perform as efficiently as we can.
I would just point out that in Portsmouth, they have been on time and on budget.
Yes, ma'am. And I would just close by saying that it's our job to do both, to have that professional workforce and to be efficient.
Well, I would hope that when possible, you would urge that the policy guidance reflect that intent.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chair.